Welcome to Second Edition. I'm Maddie Jirwa.
And I'm Ashan Jawani. Coming up on today's show, students prepare themselves for the federal election.
Plus, we learn about ways to protect the Alberta ecosystems for pollinators.
But first, the City of Edmonton is making light rail transit faster with a $5 million investment. Edmonton City Council approves reallocating $5 million for more transit peace officers.
This is a Valley Line train to 102nd Street.
Next stop, Hunt.
The City of Edmonton is adding 30 more transit peace officers, bringing the total to 126 patrol teams. We'll be bigger and spend more time on trains during both peak and non-peak hours. The city wants officers to be more visible, but it could take up to 6 months before they become active.
I am happy with the more peace officer presence, as they can conduct more thorough law enforcement, and they actually have the ability to remove and in a way can contact police faster.
I'm taking the bus to a LRT station, then I take the LRT to Nate. Like every second day, there's a homeless person yelling or so many people like doing some sort of drug. It's a little unsafe. Security doesn't do much about it.
The goal is to have more officers patrolling and increasing their visibility throughout the LRT stations, which could take up to 6 months to deploy.
Nate is giving students the chance to cast their vote in the upcoming federal election. Don't miss your opportunity to make your voice heard. Whether you're registered or you need to get set up, Nate is making it easier than ever to take part in the voting process right here on campus.
Definitely, with all our busy schedules and busy exams, it's really hard to work around and make time for going to vote.
To me it doesn't really affect it. It takes 10-15 minutes out of your day to go vote. It's not a long process.
It would definitely make it easier if it was much more scheduled and there was much more news about it. I haven't heard anything about voting stations or anything like that. I hear a lot about the election, but nothing about where to vote or where to go.
You can vote on campus until 9 o'clock, April 16th in the North Lobby on Nate campus by registering and bring your ID.
Edmonton's Food Bank is planting seeds for a change. Its new seed bank program encourages families to grow fresh produce at home. Edmonton's Food Bank helps more than 41,000 people every month and hands out over 5.5 million grams of food each year. Now they're launching the Edmonton Seed Bank, a new initiative focused on connecting people to the world of seed planting and gardening.
Public Library's idea of a seed bank that we heard about, and we thought that they were still going, and then we found out the challenges of the replenishing aspect of things, because most people, they'll grab a pack of seeds but they won't be returning a pack of seeds, so that was a challenge for them.
The program is hoping to bring community members together to garden, plant some amazing seeds, and you don't have to be an expert to get started.
Nate students gathered for the Supporting Biodiverse Landscape session on Monday, exploring ways to protect and learn about Alberta ecosystems.
I'd like to thank you for our sponsor, the Alberta Ecofirst Commission.
The Supporting Biodiverse Landscape session highlighted soil health, lawn alternatives, and pollinator protection, which are all key to gardening and getting involved.
I think the best way that students can get involved is to plant a garden. That I'm always a big advocate for just getting your hands in the soil, getting familiar with plants and how they behave.
Supporting biodiverse landscapes is very important because as we continue building homes and stuff, we need those spaces for habitats and just plantings.
Students discovered flowers that help pollinators, designing bee homes, played a fun Kahoot quiz, and now they're excited to care for their own gardens at home. Now onto entertainment. A Ukrainian Easter market was around to get people into the Easter spirit.
That's right. And we get to take a closer look at the comic book market revamping.
Local Ukrainian artists are showcasing their talents. They gathered this weekend for the annual Ukrainian Easter market.
Cake before any food, you spoil yourself.
16 local vendors showed off their handmade goods at the Alberta Council for the Ukrainian Arts. Easter markets are a tradition in the Ukrainian community. From hand-painted pisanki to freshly made foods, people were able to buy a variety of items while also experiencing Ukrainian culture.
We have a number of newcomers that are looking kind of for a little bit of a connection to home, a little bit of connection to their home language, to their native language, and to their native traditions.
Directors at the Alberta Council for the Ukrainian Arts are planning a similar event for Christmas that will be held in December. Comic book lovers and art enthusiasts alike took some time out of their day to enjoy this year's comic book market. The market hosted 23 vendors along with 2 community organizations. They did some rebranding for the 4th annual comic book market, changing the name to the Comic Zine and Book Market, adding more vendors from bookbinders to mini zine illustrators to fit this new narrative.
It's really to offer newly published authors, smaller publishers, people doing kind of art that maybe wouldn't be seen at the art gallery otherwise. And so it's a really wonderful opportunity for us to support that whole process and to find a way to highlight them in a really fun institution.
We can expect them to be up and running next year as well for the 5th annual Comic, Zine, and Book Market. There were a lot of great markets this weekend for the holidays and more popping up. Do you guys have any plans for Easter?
Well, Quinn, I'm probably just going to go home, relax, and indulge in some chocolate eggs.
Our Easter tradition is having a turkey every year and inviting some family over.
Nice.
Thank you, Quinn.
Thanks, Quinn.
After the break, we talk with Oilers play-by-play announcer on how he got to where he is today.
And we head down to Evolution Wonder Lounge, who have a brand new look.
Plus, the 2025 Speedo Canadian Swimming Open is diving headfirst into action right here in Edmonton, and you won't want to miss the splash.
He is the voice of the Oilers and has been calling games on 880 CHED and Sportsnet for over 15 years.
Our Dylan Weinert sat down with play-by-play announcer Jack Michaels on his career path.
I had a chance to sit down with the voice of the Oilers from how he got to where he is, from Pittsburgh to Alaska to now here in Edmonton. I'm here with Jack Michaels, the play-by-play announcer for the Edmonton Oilers, and we're going to learn how he got to where he is. What made you get into this industry?
Like a lot of sports announcers, it's, you know, the realization at some point in your life, whether you're in your teens or in your early 20s, that a professional athlete is probably not, you know, a realistic goal. And I was always huge into sports.
How did you get to where you are right now?
Really, when I went to school at Ithaca College in upstate New York, I was able to get on the air my first week, freshman year. But yeah, and then from there it led into doing play-by-play for various sports in college. Ended up crawling back to my hometown and doing play-by-play for high school hockey. In 1999, the way the state of Pennsylvania ran their high school tournament, so the West champion was decided in a game at 2 o'clock, and then the Penguins would play at 7. And the East champion was decided by a game at 2 o'clock, and then the Flyers would play at 7, and then the two would meet. So I was doing the West final of a 2 o'clock game before a 7 o'clock Penguins game, and it went like double or triple overtime. And the Penguins announcers are kind of sitting there waiting for this game to get over so they could set up and start doing their thing. And they happened to hear me. And when I was done, when the game was over, they were like, well, you're a hell of a hockey announcer. You should consider doing that. So 3 or 4 months later, I took a minor league job in Colorado Springs. The team went belly up in August, and I had a choice of going to 2 places, Anchorage, Alaska, or Greenville, South Carolina. So I ended up going to Anchorage, Alaska.
How did you get your Oilers job?
I sent in a DVD at the time. That's how you applied for it. And I sent in a resume on fancy paper. And the process was, at first they talked to me a little bit over the phone. They were going to set up a conference call. And then all of a sudden they decided, well, we're just going to fly you in. And it seemed to go well. But on the first day that I had taken my family to a trip in Hawaii, they called and said, you got the job. Yeah, I was lucky enough to be selected among, quite a few different resumes and tapes that they looked at.
Thanks, Jack Michaels. You'll be able to hear him all throughout the playoffs. I'm Dylan Weinert, Second Edition.
Congratulations to our LGBTQ plus friends of Edmonton. Our city now has 2 gay bars.
After 1 decade, the famous gay bar Evolution Wonder Lounge finally relocated. Benjamin Wang has more.
After 1 year of fighting and harassment, the most famous gay bar of Edmonton now has a new name called Evil and a new location on Jasper Avenue. From the basement to the street, is not about just relocation, but also be seen. Today we're going to be sitting and talking with the co-owners of EVO, Rob Borowski, unpack the new chapters of LGBTQ+ communities of Edmonton. What would you like to tell to our young generation?
Well, I mean, things right now in the world are very complicated and confusing and a little disheartening for queer and trans kids, especially in places like Alberta. I think it's important to remember that politics do come and go. I don't mean to minimalize literal threats to people's physical and emotional safety and well-being right now, but in my 30 years as an out gay person in Alberta, I have seen ebbs and flows, and as bad as things might feel right now, things are still much better than they were 30 years ago. So the general direction of the world is still a favorable one. So just don't give up hope. Find community, find connection. The connection can get you through the dark times that we are currently in and that are still coming.
Beyond laws, what policy changes would improve life for LGBTQ+ communities in Edmonton?
Everything right now feels like it all comes down to laws, but I mean, the social direction, especially in Edmonton, I think is very affirming and inspiring and welcoming. Certainly even here, we're in one of Edmonton's only gay bars, but I mean, there's lots of spaces in the city that are very queer affirming, and I think that creates an environment that makes it easy and safe for most people to come out. There's still quite a few people that don't feel that, though, whether they're coming from sub-communities within our community that are either finding discrimination from the external community or even within the community.
Thank Rob and EVO for ushering me into the place where it's full of love, equality, diversity, and understanding. This is a second home for LGBTQ+ communities in Edmonton, and let's keep the dialogue alive. Benjamin Wan with Second Edition.
Get ready to make some waves, eh? The 2025 Speedo Canadian Swimming Open is here.
That's right, Maddie. Swimmers from across Canada came together at Kingston Sports Centre this past weekend to fight for gold. Celestia Lenvo has more.
I'm here outside Kingston Sports Centre, the home of the 2025 Speedo Canadian Swimming Open. And I had the opportunity to speak to Shane Bowie, a participant in this year's Open and a member of the U of A varsity swim team, to discuss her preparation for this year's competition and for her love of swimming. I am joined here today by Shane Bowie, a member of the U of A varsity swim team. How are you doing today, Shane?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. You did amazing out there today.
Thank you.
So I was just wondering, what inspired you to become a swimmer?
When I was 7, my parents put me in competitive swimming because both of them were swimmers. My mom was with Edmonton Keanu at the very beginning in 1978, and they decided that they thought I should be a swimmer as well.
And what preparation and time did it take for you to prepare for today's Open?
My coach and I have been working a lot the past month, training day in and day out. I've been training 8 times a week for 2 hours. And yeah, I've been doing a lot of sprint work lately to work on my pace going outwards, and yeah.
And what advice would you have for young swimmers who hope to do the Open someday?
My advice would be to swim because you're having fun, swim because you love it, no expectations, really just enjoy the process.
And that's a wrap, folks. I would like to thank Shane Bowie and the Edmonton Keanu Swim Club for allowing me to cover this year's 2025 Speedo Canadian Swimming Open. For Second Edition, Celestia Lenvo.
After the break, we take a look behind the scenes of what it's like working for Earls.
And we hear about one of our local boxing gyms.
Coming up, we're going to push you to the next level in boxing.
But first, we get a behind the scenes look of an Earl's kitchen. Our Eric Calhoun has more.
Ever want to see what goes on behind the scenes at your favorite restaurant before your food arrives?
I had a chance to take a closer look at the local Earls West Edmonton Mall to see how things are operating.
What do you think makes Earls so special to work at?
The pizzas.
Honestly, I think that I've learned a lot from from a culinary perspective. I've learned a lot how to cook, how to manage multitasking, how to communicate with others. It's just like an all-around win from Earls.
Make it beautiful is the motto here at Earls, and a place where creativity, precision, and flavor all come together behind the scenes. You've seen sizzling skillets to beautifully plated dishes. We are taking you right up close to the action.
There's a lot of good people here, so it's like you can work with your friends and then it's a great time.
To be friends with your manager.
Absolutely.
It's a dance. Chefs moving in sync, working with fresh, locally sourced ingredients, all to bring bold, global flavors to life.
The mood is it goes up and down. You can be high stress from a big rush, and then as soon as the rush is over, it's back to just cheery with your friends, you know.
Behind the scenes at Earls, it's all about the team. Every dish is a group effort. From prep to plating, every move is coordinated, every roll essential. The kitchen runs on communication, trust, and a shared passion for great food. It's not just about speed, it's about standards. Each plate is checked, perfected, and sent out with pride, because here, good enough isn't good enough. At Earls, quality is the priority, and it takes a team to deliver. Great food doesn't happen by accident. It takes a team, some heat, and a whole lot of heart. That's Earls behind the scenes.
Big thanks to Earls for allowing me to have a peek inside on what goes on during a service. The new Earls menu launches on April 30th with many new things coming your way. With Second Edition, I'm Eric Calhoun.
Hi, I'm Coda Dunfield from Second Edition. Boxing has become one of the most well-known combat sports in history, and it seems like there's been a resurgence these past couple years. I'm here at Panther Gym to see what they have to offer. Come on.
One of the cooler experiences about Panther Gym is definitely their punching bags on the main level of the building. They have over 25 punching bags, heavy bags, and speed bags for as many as they can fit in their classes during the day. They have also 30 pairs of gloves just in case you don't have any for the class. In their upper level of the gym, they have their weight room, treadmills, and easy bars. Boxing isn't just about cardio and endurance. It's about building your muscles and aerobic system through the weight room so that your body can last longer in the ring. My personal favorite here are definitely their rings. On the main level, they have 2 rings for not only sparring sessions, but for competition as well. Sparring sessions happen both Wednesday morning and Saturday evenings if you ever want to test yourself in the squared circle. Sparring isn't just about fighting each other on the back foot or on the front foot. It's about staying calm, keep your composure, and fight on your game plan.
And that's it. Panther Gym has been around for almost 50 years, and they just moved to their new location 2022. If you ever want a good workout, boxing is for you. I'm Coda Dunfield from Second Edition.
Well, that's a wrap for our final Second Edition show of the season. What a journey it's been with this winter 2025 crew.
We're so excited to see new faces in the fall on Second Edition. Catch us as we head to Nate News Watch in our final term.